Welcome to Shadow at Night, Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025. A line was crossed today. A societal line. When somebody goes after a politician, we've come to expect that as a society, haven't we? Oh, another presidential assassination attempt, like Trump last year. But when an activist, political activist, no matter what side of the line he or she happens to be on, goes out to speak with people at an institution of higher learning, trade ideas, debate them, and then gets shot dead in cold blood in front of thousands, a line is crossed. And what happened today may be the catalyst of what they want to happen. Complete and total chaos in the streets of every American city, which will spill over into all the Western countries. This has been planned for some time. We don't know who did it yet. There's no shooter in custody. They thought they had a shooter in custody, but they don't have a shooter in custody. Clearly, it was the work of a professional. Apparently, this bullet was shot at Charlie Kirk from 200 yards away, they say, from a rooftop. Caught him right here. They rushed him to the hospital. We didn't know for a couple of hours if he was going to make it or not, but several very high-quality videos of the shooting made it to social media today. You will not see any of those on the social media part of the show tonight. You will on the extension. Here. So if that bullet didn't kill him, it would have left him a vegetable, at best. The amount of blood was horrendous. Jugular, carotid artery. People are asking for forgiveness, peace, calm. The left-wing corporate media is talking about both sides now. And there are some who are out for a reckoning. So we're going to cover this, and we do have other stories to cover as well. Mark Carney suggests that he's going to build compassionate housing in Canada, whatever that is. And Pierre Poilievre ducked a question on Ukraine today by suggesting we need to sell them more oil and gas. What? Also, in St. Catharines, Ontario, was the bail hearing of that trans rapist. And Mr. Freedom and our friend Rob Primo gathered hundreds of people outside that courthouse today. And we're going to show you video of that a little bit later on. I'm sorry for the solemn tonight, you guys, but I can't help it. I have been upset since this news came in. I'm going to say 1:30 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. This is how the show is going to be tonight. So just hang in there. Hang in there. It's a sad day. It's a sad day for what happened and for what may yet still happen. Brought to you by CanadaNanoSilver.com.
Silver is amazing. It has several natural health benefits, and it's been used for hundreds of years for health and healing. That's the main reason they made silverware from silver. But seriously, this nano silver from Silverceuticals is the best and safest silver you can find. There are hundreds of studies and reports on it. I've read some of the studies myself, and it's mind-blowing. One of the things that sets Silverceuticals apart is that it washes out of your body in 24 hours. no silver buildup, and no turning blue. And it won't even harm the good bacteria your body needs. It's so effective they can use very small concentrations of silver, like 10 and 32 parts per million, and still outperform other silvers that have up to 3,000 parts per million. It's safer and more effective at the same time. It is an incredibly small particle that is small enough to work through your body, but big enough not to fall out of suspension. They infuse it into almost all of their products. It works in facial serums, toothpaste, gels, and even gummies that work to help your immune system.
CanadaNanoSilver.com. Check it out. Let me say some hellos real quick here. Hello to Dave and Shauna Vision, Greg, Carla. Carla, you've been very helpful today. Thank you. Yolanda, Janet, Beulah, Laura, Shelley, Angela, Barb, Vicky, Lori, Donatella, Patty, Jeannie, Carmen, Wanda, Suzanne, Violet, and on Rumble, Esky Dogs and Susie Q and Crivier and Maria Christiana, Dog Mom, El Dupuis in Chestermere. Oh, I got a call from Chestermere the other day. I haven't returned yet. I will. Okay, so what happened today? I guess I'll just throw it up on the screen. Now, we all know who Charlie Kirk was. But the AP felt compelled to tell us that he was a conservative activist and a close ally of President Donald Trump, who played an influential role in rallying young Republican voters, shot and killed today at a Utah college event in what the governor of that state called a political assassination carried out from a rooftop. This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation, said Utah Governor Spencer Cox. I want to be very clear. This is a political assassination. It wasn't immediately clear late today whether any suspect was in custody or if the shooter was still at large, as law enforcement provided evolving and difficult to reconcile information. FBI Director Kash Patel, who earlier today posted on social media that a subject had been taken into custody, later wrote the person had been released after questioning. Utah authorities had separately said a person of interest was in custody, but it wasn't immediately clear if that was the same person Patel referenced as having been released. And so we're going to show you first video of the suspect. It was an older dude with glasses that they had on his knees and then walked him out. He seemed crazy. And here, watch.
Me! Was that you? We don't know if it's him or not.
Hey, let him in!
You disgrace those garbage, you mock God!
As we said, that man was released. But here's something interesting that was caught on camera by one of the people who was at the event earlier today.
Up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying.
Huh.
He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in. And now he's right there. Just saying.
Very low security event. I don't know why. We're going to run through some conservative pundit reactions, names you've heard before, starting with Alex Jones. And I want you to also remember that some of the video you're about to see came out before we found out that Charlie Kirk was dead. Here's Alex Jones.
All right. I've got some really bad news for people.
I just got a call 5 minutes ago from a very trusted source who's never been wrong, connected to 3-letter agencies, who's very close to people that were on the ground there when Charlie Kirk was shot in Utah today. And he died a long time ago. So he's dead. And I got a call saying, where are you getting your info? He might be alive. And I said, I'm getting off the news. They said, no, he's dead. That's directly from people on the ground. I'll leave it at that. Very close to Charlie. So they killed him. The left killed him. And I get the family and others are probably thinking of what they're going to say or what they're going to do, but you see that footage. They say clearly from the report, the rifle and all the rest of it, high-powered rifle. They said because the reason his chest lifts up is just the effect that the bullet high speed creates, but hit him in the neck. And Charlie's dead. But if the left thinks this is going to intimidate us to shut up, they got nothing coming. Charlie was out there at the campuses getting millions of young people to vote for Trump. And the left cannot allow this. And John Podesta's plan was if Trump got reelected to launch a civil war. So it's live now. Everybody should really be watching now. They're going to try to kill Trump again. Just God bless you all and God bless Charlie Kirk. He died like a Viking king, sword in his hand, the info war. Now, I pray my source is wrong, but this source has been the source of so much that's always been accurate. He said 100%, talk to people directly there, directly involved. I'm going to try to get him to come on the air. I'm here getting my dad out of the hospital after he had his heart surgery stuff. That went well, so I'm dealing with that right now. I'm going to go back at the office here in about an hour. But I'm going to see if I can get this source on air. He's been in, let's just say, a lot of 3-letter agencies. And it's confirmed. Charlie Kirk's dead, folks. Sorry to report that to you. God bless you. Pray for him. Pray for his family. Pray for America, because more's coming.
I don't know who was the first to report that Charlie Kirk had died this afternoon. Redacted could have been. They had a source right in the hospital, but so did Alex. I was trying to follow as much as I could. Doesn't really matter at this stage of the game. Megyn Kelly.
Pray, God, that he survived this. Pray for his family. Pray for his children, his 2 young children. And ask ourselves what our country is coming to. How does this happen? How does somebody whose only job is to comment on political matters wind up a target for an assassin? This is the United States of America. We have commentators. We have provocative commentators. This is what we've been doing since the dawn of time.
She's in shock, obviously, and hasn't yet wrapped her head around what this is. I believe that this is the beginning of what we thought. That's what I think. And I've had a few friends, I spoke to a few friends today who frequent the United States. They go down there quite often. I myself had a trip to Minneapolis planned for the end of the month, maybe the beginning of next month. I've canceled it. I'm not going to any major American city for the next while. Now, people said to me, Shadow, don't you think you're overreacting? I said, no. Not after what I've seen today. I'm going to leave the most impactful videos until the end. Steven Crowder, who's usually very jovial in his approach, was not today. And here's Steve Bannon.
By the way, it is a battlefield. I mean, Charlie Kirk was a warrior. Charlie Kirk wasn't going to back down. After the Butler assassination attempt last summer, you warned him, other people warned him that, hey, Charlie, you're the most exposed person in anybody in this movement, because Charlie would, it looked like a couple of times a week, go into these crowds. And look at that crowd today at Utah Valley University. It had to be a couple of thousand people, 4,000 or 5,000 people.
No. He knew. He always knew. And he knew, and he would say, I need to do it anyway because it has to be done. And if I don't do it, who else will? Because he had a drive, he had a spirit, he was a builder, he was a father, a husband, and he had this, unlike no one I've ever met, maybe outside of this room, where he just would never stop. And it could be 2 a.m. I could send Charlie a text, he'd text me right back.
100%.
2 a.m., 3 a.m.
The only time he would take Saturday off for the family, except
for Saturday. Saturday, of course. Saturday. If you need him, you go to Erica. And that was the time he said, "That's my time. I want to be with God. I want to pray. I want to unplug." But my point is that this guy would never stop working. 24/7 operation, 24/6, and
keep going.
The movement that Charlie Kirk started will never end. The movement of the youth, the movement to save this country, the movement to ignite a fire for freedom and liberty across this republic. And by the way that he always spoke so forcefully for Christ Jesus, that whenever chance he had to give his testimony for what he believed in and who he believed in and to lift up God's name, Charlie was always the first one to do so.
So I know obviously people are shocked today. When we left you a couple hours ago, what did I do? What I always do at the end of the show in the morning is toss to Charlie Kirk for 2 hours of populist nationalism, followed by Jack Posobiec, Steve Gruber, Eric Bolling, then back to the war room. It just shows you, hey, every minute's precious for people, particularly for people in this movement and people at the tip of the spear. I realize everybody's rattled by this. Charlie Kirk being assassinated, shot down in cold blood for the entire world to see. The shooter is not apprehended yet. Yes, there's going to be prayers and mourning and half staff in nurturing the widow and a ceremony. But we have to have steely resolve, right? Charlie Kirk's a casualty of war. We're in this country. We are. And the mocking that you had on MSNBC today was completely and totally inappropriate by Matthew Dowd, and the owners of MSNBC ought to know he ought to be removed immediately and never come back on that channel. His comments earlier today, when we first heard that Charlie was shot, right? And Katie Tur was trying to do her best job, right, given the circumstances, but you have a guest like on there. We need steely resolve. Charlie Kirk is a casualty of the political war going on in this country. He was gunned down in cold blood. Gunned down in cold blood. And you have to have steely resolve about this.
Charlie Kirk never... Look, what did he do? He would say, if you disagree, come to the front of the line. Because he wanted to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk never raised a hand in anger. Never once. He said, come out here. He would say, change my mind.
He was a happy warrior.
He's a happy warrior every single time.
Right.
And
you never saw him.
You had conviction.
Right.
You know, he had conviction.
Tough.
He was tough as nails. But he never once did so. He never once came off a stage. You go find hundreds of hours of video. No. He never did it. No. Never once. No matter how crazy, no matter how nuts, whatever he was being faced with, he would always sit there and he would hold his ground and hold frame and do so with the peace of Christ. He had a gift from God. He had an absolute gift from God. And for, these are the reasons that we'll never be able to really get the answers of. But God called him home today.
31 years old. Now, before we get into the next two, I want to show you guys the face of evil. Who celebrates, like, dances when somebody gets shot? Who does that? Evil people, demons. This is only 39 seconds. Watch.
There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot. Well, breaking fucking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fanta-Fastest favorite 5-mile wide mouthpieces, Charles Chucklefuck Kirk.
What's wrong with these people? I cried this afternoon. I cried because Charlie Kirk had been shot. I cried for his family. But I'm crying for humanity right now, man. I'm crying for our society. And I think that video that I put together there there is so many more of them. I couldn't even take it. But that thing that I put together today to show you, that's what made me cry the most. What is wrong with these kids? What's happened to us? Steven Crowder obviously saw some of this as well. He made this video before we all knew that Charlie Kirk had died. And he's angry. I left this video at 5 minutes. I was going to edit it, but I went, nope. Everything he says in this, you're going to need to hear it. Watch.
I know has been praying for Charlie Kirk, the Kirk family, the state of our country, obviously. And right away, they're already spinning stuff on CNN. Like I said, we don't have all the information yet, but I do know what they're saying is wrong. They're saying this is something now that, just heard them say, this plagues both sides. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't plague both sides. One side has to risk their life and limb to express opinions, and the other acts with complete impunity. I can't tell you how many times I've been in that situation and been called a Nazi, and Charlie Kirk. All of us have. We've all been called Nazis, fascists, and just like President Trump being shot, my God, some people out there believe it. And why is Charlie Kirk a Nazi? Why is he a Nazi? He's one of those Israel supporting Nazis, apparently. Why is he any more of a Nazi than you or the next guy? Because he supports lower taxes? Because he thinks we should have borders? And he gets shot? This changes everything. You can say both sides if you're talking about presidents. Yeah. You can't say both sides, that both sides go out into public with the same level of fear as non-office holding citizens expressing an opinion. And now they're saying this is really just shows we need to bring down the temperature. Oh, really? After the bullets fly? After the bullets fly? I tell you, the temperature can be brought down when you uncall us Nazis. When you uncall us, make sure that everyone out there who believes your bullshit, genocidal maniacs trying to erase trans people, when you unring that bell, then we can talk about bringing down the temperature. But right now, someone with opinions that up until 4 years ago, give or take, would be offensive to nobody, is shot. And because economic policy, his kids don't deserve to have a dad? Because he doesn't think that kids should be given puberty blockers? And because he has the balls to go out and say it in public as opposed to from behind a news desk? Now, this is a changing moment, because that could be, it could be any of us on a laundry list of people. And so the culture now, and this is what really sucks, it's terrorism. It's, do you want to go out and try and change hearts and minds? Do you want to affect the country? Do you want to have an impact? Do you want to enough to not leave your children fatherless? How much do you want to express that people should have the right to free speech? How much do you want to? Because you just may get shot. You know what else? I hate to speak this, but you think this stops here? Do you think this stops here? I see people online say, oh, I wish the bullet a happy day. Shit like that. You think this stops here? It's very clear that this is what, and not only is it a clear sign of what's to come, the response makes it even clearer. Because the response is both sides, man. Tell you what. When you can unring the bell of calling us and Charlie Kirk, calling everyone on this side of the political spectrum a Nazi, a fascist, a racist, a transphobe, a homophobe, a threat to democracy, the biggest domestic terror threat that exists, white, straight, conservative males. Until you can unring that bell, there's no calming it down. There's no, let's let these temperatures simmer, because the bullets were fired on your command, not ours, on your command. So until you unring that bell, I say supreme, unfettered aggressivity. The only language that these people, meaning radical leftists and, yeah, a lot of the media speak, is fear and violence. That's the only language they speak. We don't burn down cities, and of course we shouldn't start. Let's let temperatures cool? No, because if we all do that, you get away with it. God forbid those. I don't even want to see. Charlie, at best, a life-altering injury, and you can say, yeah, but then afterwards we realized. No, you knew before, you know now, and now so do we. And it is going to be painful, and it should be for the people who put us in this place.
I don't know. I am praying that this is not the 0 hour or the crucible where we descend into madness. But I think there's going to be a lot of things happening in the next few days. And I think maybe some people are looking for retribution. Settle the scores. I cobbled together some video. I was all over social media today after we got an inkling as to what happened to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was shot in an event. That was what came over. And I went, what? Oh, no. And so naturally, you go to every Okay. That was weird. That was incredibly strange. Just kind of had a blank out there. Suddenly, my camera loses connection to the computer. What? Maybe the social media platforms think I'm going to be talking about sedition here, or trying to start some kind of a war. I'm not. I don't want that. There are some people out there who feel differently. Like they are looking for retribution, vengeance, justice, whatever you want to call it. Some people are gobsmacked, jelly-legged. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? I know many of us have had enough. We've had enough of the nonsense. And when we try to speak rationally, calmly, logically, this is the kind of thing that happens. Now, this is going way too far, what happened to Charlie Kirk today. Way, way too far. And yeah, I'm mad about it. Is this the event that we've been talking about now for 3 or 4 years? I want you guys to watch these random dudes talking about what happened today. They're all of slightly different mindsets. Here we go.
Watching that video of Charlie Kirk, I'm not a crying man. But I just can't believe this. Yeah, I can't believe it, man. We fight so much on this app. We fight so much on this internet over just frivolous things that's so unimportant. And there are people out here trying to kill us. And we still try to kill each other. They just shot this man in front of the whole world. I can't even look at the camera, bro, because I'm going to get too emotional about this, bro. But we just got to stick together, man. That man is an American hero. If they can do that to him, they can do that to anyone. And they will. This is one of the most significant assassination attempts since MLK. This man changed America in ways that he never gets the credit for. I mean, we can credit us even having Gen Z, millennials, and any generation after completely to Charlie Kirk. Thanks to him. This man is an American hero and a God-fearing man. And we all might have some distant differences, but it's time to let them go. It's time to let our differences go. Because I regret for the last things that we say about each other. Not be a positivity, love, and motivating each other to be good, motivating each other to stay safe. But to play into drama, to play into beef, just for clicks, it ain't worth it, man. This is real life. This internet stuff, it ain't worth it. I'm praying for this man. I don't even know why I'm making this video. I feel so defeated.
So here's my synopsis of what just happened to Charlie Kirk. I'm telling you right now, liberal influencers and liberals and I can't even talk right now. I'm so fucking pissed. Y'all are fucking terrorists. Liberals are the fucking terrorists of the fucking planet. Y'all are the ones who are creating all this fucking bullshit and all this crime. I don't give a fuck who fucking hears me. Y'all fucking liberal content creators that are paid by the fucking liberal DNC, and y'all liberal content creators that fucking incite violence and all this bullshit, y'all are terrorists, because none of us have ever and will ever go up there while one of your fucking little influencers are talking and shoot them in the fucking neck. But guess what? Bet. This is what you fucking do. This is what you do. For people that have free think and free speech, you go and fucking shoot somebody in the fucking neck because you can't handle your little fucking feelings. Bet. Ooh, I'm so fucking hot right now. I'm so hot because it's all fucking Democrat bullshit that's so fucking violent and nasty. Y'all are fucking nasty.
I'm not quite sure how else to tell you guys this, but this definitely feels like the shot heard around the world. For years, conservatives have been saying that they're trying to kill us. They tried character assassination attempts that inevitably failed. They've tried swattings, they've tried doxings that inevitably failed. Now they're resorting to actual assassinations. Now, yeah, they tried it on Trump, And it's not like it's to be expected for someone like Trump, but for someone like Charlie Kirk, who has never advocated for violence, who is a man of God, who wants to see the restoration of this country, who goes out and speaks with people he disagrees with, who is trying to appeal to the humanity of those who hate him, has now been shot. And based on what I saw, I don't know how he pulls through. I'm praying for him and for his family, but I just want to give you guys a heads up that the world has been on the brink of World War III, and this feels like a crescendo, or at least what'll kick that off. Prepare accordingly. Whatever you need to do to get prepared, start doing it right now. And I mean today.
If Charlie Kirk is dead right now, I am 100% radicalized. Let me know where I turn myself in. I'm 100% radicalized if he's dead right now. And the people that were involved in his murder and that are rejoicing in it just did the opposite effect of what they intended. Because now tens of millions of, yes, highly intelligent and capable men like me are now fully radicalized. You've awoken the beast, okay? So you want to see what happens next? Charlie Kirk didn't represent racism. He literally represented the highest order of moral ideals and values, and he literally loved everyone. It was out of love he tells you what's wrong with your positions and your views on life and your behaviors.
Let's get one thing straight. They didn't murder Charlie Kirk because he was an extremist or a fascist or a threat to democracy or inciting violence or any of the other reasons that they're now trying to put out on X and TikTok and everywhere else. They murdered him because he was effective. He was effective. The man made incredible arguments while at the same time always trying to seek out common humanity. He might have disagreed with arguments, but he didn't hate anyone. And they murdered him. That's what happened.
This video's in regards to Charlie Kirk. And this video's for the fucking liberals. It's war, motherfuckers. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. And spare me your fucking self-righteous bullshit lectures. I don't give a fuck. We're coming for you.
Probably should have put a language warning up on that. I'm sorry I didn't. Hopefully no kids around. That seems to be the mentality that's permeating across common sense America right now. And it will eventually make it here. I've always said whatever happens in the United States, you can expect to happen in Canada in a slightly different way 3 to 6 months later. Mostly the bad stuff. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do it right now. There's too many of you guys, but I will look at them later. So what do you think happens next? Where do we go from here? Is there a way for both of these sides to get together? I don't believe there is, and I'll tell you why. Because I hear politicians in this country arguing in favor of pornographic books in public schools or denying their existence altogether. I hear politicians in this country and in other countries still advocating for a formula that's been killing and maiming people for the last 4 years, claiming it's safe and effective. We've gone too far. In the old days, left versus right used to be the right side says, I want lower taxes. The left says, I want more government programs. That was right versus left. Today's version of that is right-wing people are advocating for no sexual content in schools. The fact that there is no proven climate emergency. The fact that we should have borders. And the left is saying that we're in a crisis mode every single day of our lives, that the sky is going to fall on us. The next pandemic is just around the corner. That men can be women and women can be men. That is the difference. So, yeah, it's not left versus right any longer. It's now sane versus crazy. It's good versus evil. And we're about to see that. If people haven't been able to see that for the past 4 or 5 years, it will become more and more evident moving forward from this day. This is from our friend Karen Kingston today on her Substack, thekingstonreport.com. I'm at a loss for words to express the unjust, tragic, and abrupt end to Charlie Kirk's life. We've become so divided as a nation that some individuals express hatred and violence towards those who express different political or healthcare opinions from what was the mainstream narrative from 2020 to 2024. This is not normal human behavior. It's cruel, inhumane, and evil. Charlie Kirk was a Christian icon of reasonable and rational political debate. He was, and his work will continue to be a powerful, positive influence on young American men and women. Please pray for Charlie Kirk's wife, daughter, son, and family, that they're able to find a peace that surpasses all understanding and remembering all of Charlie's contributions to our world and our nation. And by knowing that Charlie has found peace in being reunited with our Heavenly Father. Damn it. And in the name of Jesus, I pray to God that our nation as a people, I'm going to throw in the entire world here. Sorry, Karen, I amended your... I pray to God that the world as a people can restore the ability to act with kindness, compassion, Christian values, and rational thinking towards our neighbors, especially when we disagree. I pray that the tragic loss of Charlie Kirk literally be a turning point for Americans to begin to reunite and be more kind to one another, period. I pray that our nation is able to restore the ability for families and communities to seek fair, swift, and just accountability through the American legal system against those who have perpetrated cruel, heartless, and inhumane crimes. Amen. Isaiah 57:1-2. The righteous perishes, and no man takes it to heart. Merciful men are taken away, while no one considers that the righteous is taken away from evil. He shall enter peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. I truly hope she's right, but I don't think so. And worse, I think that this might be the only way to stop it. Stephen Crowder's right. We can't just suddenly say, okay, everything's good again. There needs to be some kind of accountability. Shadow at Night livestream is brought to you by Canada Nano Silver. I'm coming right back after this.
Today we're comparing Crest toothpaste to Silver Circles toothpaste. First we're starting out with Crest. It's a classic, it's an original. It's what I've used most of my life. But that being said, it does have its problems. First off, the consistency is so weird and thick, and I get it's a paste, but it really doesn't spread that well. And I must also say that I'm not in love with the taste. I get toothpaste isn't supposed to taste good, but why shouldn't it? But that being said, it does get the job done. Next we have Silver Circles. They have 3 flavors, but today we're going with Bubbleberry. And already it smells so good. So I'm excited to see what this tastes like. The consistency is also a lot smoother, and I must say it spreads way nicer in your mouth.
This literally tastes like fruit bubblegum.
Yeah, this toothpaste was pretty good. I actually went in for seconds, and it's infused with nano silver, so it helps remineralize your teeth and keep them fresh throughout the day. 100% go with Silver Circle. And here's the results. What's your favorite toothpaste?
CanadaNanoSilver.com. Call today 204-808-9292 for more information. One last thing about Charlie Kirk. In case you guys weren't familiar with him, I know some people aren't. Most of you are, obviously, but some people aren't. Charlie Kirk, I think, got Donald Trump elected in this last election using Turning Point America, the organization he founded some 10 years ago or co-founded and was the executive chairman of, by rallying people. He rallied people in every major city. And he was also a family man. So I'm going to show you some video of the election night when Donald Trump was finally declared the winner of the election. And then we're going to move, this is a 2-minute video, then we're going to move into Charlie and his wife and kids. Here you go.
News decides Donald Trump is president of the United States. We've got our republic back, folks.
Let's go. There it is.
Everybody should remember this moment. Look, I'm gonna echo Charlie from earlier. Remember where you were when this happened. Remember where you were when you realized that the Uniparty and all of these, just the establishment, you said it's time to actually participate, and look what you guys have done.
And if anyone deserves to get tears in his eyes, it's Charlie. I think we all agree.
I think Erica was chopping some onions or something in the break room.
No one has worked harder than Charlie for this.
We gotta hear some words here from you, Charlie. You put all this together, my man. Let's hear it.
I am just humbled by God.
It's all God. It's all God. God alone. God alone.
That's all she said.
Decision desk has it. Pennsylvania.
It's done.
It's beginning.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee. His grace uncrowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
We have some better news, even though it involves something awful. People rallied today in St. Catharines. If you'll recall, last night I was talking about this so-called second freedom convoy that's supposed to be heading to Ottawa, and the organizer, or one of them, his name is Wayne Canada. You can find him on Facebook. And he was all upset that nobody showed up at the rally point in Calgary this morning. And that's exactly what I said last night. I don't want to call this guy a grifter. I don't want to call him anything, really. Maybe misguided, disorganized. But this is not something that you can do yourself based upon bought and paid for Facebook subscribers. This is something that takes time and trust and a team. And more than that, you need to have the faith and the willingness of everybody to make something like that happen. Now, Freedom Convoy 2022, that was natural. That was grassroots. That was something that just sparked because Canadians from coast to coast to coast were tired of being locked in their homes and told what to do by Justin Trudeau and whatever premier happened to be in power in your province at the time. We got up and we went out. Are Canadians at that point yet again where they're tired of one thing? And if so, what is that thing? Is it immigration? Is it crime? What is it? So will there be a rally at Parliament on Saturday afternoon? Maybe. But it's not going to be a convoy. The time is going to come for that. But it's not just yet. So let's go to the Toronto Sun here and check out this article from Joe Warmington. Accused in Welland sex assault of girl wants moved to women's prison. Well, the Facebook page says his birth name is Daniel Senecal. The name under his picture says he is Danny Senecal. So this is the guy that brutally assaulted a 3-year-old next door neighbor so badly she needed reconstructive surgery. She's probably never going to have children. And you know what, guys? I'm sorry that tonight's show is so rough, but there is some good that I'm going to show you in just a second. The first clue that something could be up was noticed on Daniel Senecal's Facebook page, where under his photograph, his pronouns are listed as she, her. But he has been charged with sexual assault of a 3-year-old girl in an alleged August 31st incident in Welland as a he, him. So this guy's bail hearing was set for today in St. Catharines, Ontario. Mr. Freedom organized some people to get there and make a point of this guy not getting it. So watch.
The reinforcements have showed up.
Language warning. Really big language warning for this one.
Hey, how's it going? Sure. Recognize me? How's it going? How are you? Good, man. It's so good to see you. So we're talking about stand up for the children in our community. You people at home doing nothing are disgusting as the pedophiles that commit the crime. We're talking about stand up for the children in our community. What's happening in our cities is fucking disgusting. Any politician, any government worker that's not doing anything, shame on you. If you're at home, not doing anything, not standing up for kids, fuck you too. Hey, what's up, brother? Great. Well, we got lots of numbers showing up, guys, so get off your ass, come down here, please. This is a big deal. Our communities have gone to shit, so I don't know if they're going to let me in the building today. We're going to definitely try. Definitely get in here somehow. I don't think they're letting anybody in, are they? Hey, we can finally be all right together. How are you? Awesome. This is the fucking trooper right here, my boy Robbie. We're down here at fucking St. Catharines to prove a point to this shithole of a country.
We got a good turnout here today, too, don't we?
Well, fucking right we do. Me and Rob aren't allowed to go live together. I'll probably lose my page for sharing your face.
Yeah, now we're allowed to talk.
Awesome, buddy.
I'm just the guy. This is what everybody did. I did nothing.
People need to come together. God bless everyone here.
How's it going?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Get your ass down here. This is a big deal. This is our community. It's being destroyed. Our government's allowing it to be destroyed. Police officers are staying silent. Imagine being a cop in St. Catharines and you're not down here fighting for this. You swore an oath to protect the children, and you're sitting there protecting pedophiles. They'll be up here with their lights flashing and everything else, making sure that we're behaving ourselves. Meanwhile, there's a child rapist on the street. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, fucking ain't better be a sin. Thanks for coming, pal.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Well, here we go. Pretty wild, guys. So get down here. It's right where it is. Courthouse.
Big John!
Big John! What's up, buddy? All right, where are you boys from?
Welland.
Oh, the Welland boys are here. Attaboy. You guys took the day off work?
Yeah, we're getting paid right now.
Yeah! See, that's what I'm talking about. Even if you have a job, fuck it. There's nothing better than coming down and standing up for children in our community.
Our communities are going to shit. You got a job, F it, blah, 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 blah. But you want to know what? What a great turnout. Those guys did a great job getting people out. To show the powers that be that we know what's going on, we're watching them, and we care. And we need more and more and more of that. I'm not saying that we need to drive 2,000 miles, but we do need to show up at the right place at the right time. And today, definitely in St. Catharines was the right place at the right time. Community's going to shit? You don't say. Look at this piece.
It's, you feel like you're in a different country, to be honest with you. This is what this city has become. Brampton, Ontario, Bangladesh.
I mean, we got Indian people hanging out by the group.
Beautiful park.
It is. I mean, it's got the Canadian infrastructure, but it's the people make you feel like you're in a different nation.
Yeah, I would never move to Brampton. I used to live in Brampton, and it's only gotten worse from when I went to middle school, 30 years ago.
Right.
It's getting to the point where it's too much. They start small. It's not a large takeover. It's not an immediate takeover. We're going to settle in. We're going to take over city by city. They take prominent positions in our country, politics, school boards,
law enforcement, military,
and all of a sudden they seem to have the power.
They do seem overrepresented, don't they? Considering that they are still a minority. And I'm not talking just about one particular culture that seems to be moving to Canada like crazy, and it's not even their fault. They're being sold a bill of goods in their own country before coming here. They are. The whole thing's a scam. The system in and of itself is a scam. And we are going to get into more detail on that in the coming nights. Mark Carney announced today that tomorrow he's going to be revealing the list of projects of national interest. But get this, no oil pipeline is on this list of projects of national interest. No oil pipeline. So Danielle Smith, if you're watching this right now, I doubt you are, but you may catch a clip of this at some point in the future. Stop kidding yourself. This man is never going to build an oil and gas pipeline. Ever. It's not happening. He's a climate zealot. He's a net zero zealot. Here he is talking about it today.
We'll announce the first tranche, the first batch of these projects. Projects that will increase Canada's independence, boost our economy, align with the interests of Indigenous peoples, and advance our climate goals. Canada's new government recognizes that addressing climate change isn't just a moral duty that we have to our kids and grandkids. It is that moral duty. But it's
enough with the climate nonsense, Mark. Nobody buys it anymore. Nobody.
It's also an economic imperative for the competitiveness of our businesses and the workers they employ. And so to those ends, this fall, we will release a new climate competitiveness strategy that focuses on results over objectives and investments over prohibitions. Third, we will remain relentlessly focused on bringing down costs for Canadians, building on the elimination of the consumer carbon tax, building on that middle-class tax cut. For example, during the summer, we took a decision to uphold the CRTC's plan to expand mandatory wholesale access. That's a mouthful. Mandatory wholesale access. What's in it for Canadians? One thing. It will reduce broadband costs for Canadian families. That's why this government took that decision, because we are relentlessly focused on Canadian affordability.
Still with this climate nonsense. Could that be something we all get behind from coast to coast to coast and say there is no climate emergency and you're killing us with all this nonsense? I don't think so. Immigration, crime. If you took people's coffee away, that'd be different. Now, there's some climate zealots who say that by drinking coffee, you are contributing to the climate emergency. So that might do it. Try and take coffee away from somebody that you know. Good luck with that. Mark did say today that he wants to build compassionate housing.
Houses. We will build housing that's compassionate, that's competitive, that's climate friendly, and above all, that's Canadian. Yeah.
What is he even talking about? You see, there's so many of us that listen to these politicians and we go, oh, that sounds so official, because they know how to talk. They know how to sound. Even if they're talking nonsense and bullshit, they know how to say it. They know how to put the right emphasis on the right word. They know how to dance, juke, move, bob, weave, dodge, duck. Look at Pierre Poilievre here, for example. Now, I don't think this is a particularly good job of it, but he does it. Watch him.
Is we, the Canada, we gave billions of dollars, 22 billion plus $25 billion to Ukraine. How justified is that when our own people are struggling high time, big time, because since last couple of years, you are also highlighting the crisis and crisis and crisis. So how to fix? Canada first, we have not seen the Canada first approach by any of the political party. Canada first, we have seen that other countries are coming first. Taxpayers' money are going out of country. How justified is that? Thank you.
Well, the best way to put Canada first while helping Ukraine is to sell our oil and gas in Europe. The reason Putin can fund his war is because he has a near monopoly on Western European oil and gas purchases. If we had the Energy East...
Now, hold on just a second here. Don't you think that if Vladimir Putin wanted to cripple Europe, he would just cut off their oil and gas? Because that's what NATO's been saying for the past 3 years. Oh, Putin wants Russian expansion. He wants to expand into Poland. They're even saying that now, because a couple of Russian drones flew over Poland the other day. Oh, he wants to take over France and Germany, and he wants in. He wants to reestablish the old Soviet Union. That's what they're saying, that he's an aggressive monster. If he wanted to do that, he wouldn't have to invade. If he's the guy responsible for all of the oil and gas that goes to Europe, all he'd have to do is go, sorry, but we need it for our people first. Let's continue with Poilievre here.
Pipeline, we could be selling 1 million barrels of Canadian oil to Europe every single day. If we immediately approved LNG plants, we could liquefy tens of billions of dollars of natural gas and send it to Europe to fully displace the Russian sales of gas into that continent and put it into Canadian paychecks. So Mark Carney and the Liberals have blocked every single LNG project that has been put before them. And as a result, we only have one plant. It's on the West Coast, approved by Stephen Harper. If you want to defund Putin and squeeze out all the money that he's using to fund the war, then let's immediately start approving pipelines, LNG plants, export terminals, and send tens of billions of dollars of clean, ethical Canadian natural gas and oil to Europe. Instead of the money going to Putin's war machine, it will go to the trades workers in this country. That is how you put Canada first.
Well, can't we do that without sending $22 billion to Ukraine of money and of equipment? That's putting Canada first. Don't give them our money. Sell them our oil and gas. But if Poilievre were in power, he'd still be sending that money, because that money was frozen, Russian frozen assets by Stephen Harper in 2014. And how much was it that they froze? $22 billion. Be that as it may, as dicked up as this country is right now, more Canadians are reporting a sense of national pride this year than in 2024. according to new data released from Statistics Canada. Gathered from April to June of this year, the new results from the Canadian Social Survey show that 78% of responding citizens reported being proud or very proud to be Canadian, up from 74% last fall. Similar growth was seen among non-citizen residents of Canada, rising to 76 from 68%. By province, rates of national pride this spring ranged from 72% for Quebec residents to 86% Prince Edward Island. Let's see here. Do we have it by province? No, we don't have it by province. Oh, well, no big deal. I wonder where it's the lowest. Probably Quebec. I have one more thing to show you guys here, and I want you to have a look at this. This is limitless.ai. Limitless.ai. Okay. We've got more on Charlie Kirk, by the way, in the extension tonight. Let me see if I can find this. Here it is here. So our old friend Theo Fleury put out a video on his Instagram last night. And I want you to pay close attention to what he says here.
Hey everyone, throughout my life, I've been blessed to live two incredible journeys. One on the ice where I got to represent my country and win at the highest level. And another off the ice where I've dedicated my time to fighting for mental health, trauma recovery, and giving people hope. And today, those two worlds collide in the most powerful way. I'm officially joining Ori Technologies as a founding advisor. Now listen, this isn't just another tech startup. Ori is building the world's first emotionally intelligent AI ecosystem. Think of it as technology with a heart, a wearable system that understands human emotion in real time, steps in when you're struggling, protects you when you're in danger, and even rewards you for the positive choices with a program called WildCoin. That's why I said yes, because this isn't just a device. It's a movement to change how we live, how we connect, and how we look after each other. I've spent years talking about the importance of emotional wellness. Ori takes that message and puts it into action in sports, in schools, for veterans, for families, and yes, even into industries like agriculture with their groundbreaking livestock innovation. This is bigger than me, bigger than Ori. This is about building the future, and I'll say it straight. This feels like an Apple moment. The kind of thing you don't want to look back on and say, I missed it. I'm proud to put my name, my story, and my voice behind Ori. And I can't wait for you to see what's coming next.
Wearable AI. This is the closest thing that you can get without surgical implementation of machines into your body. Bio-digital convergence. And Theo is riding that train. And no, that's not a fake AI creation, Kim. That's real. Okay, that's it for the show tonight. I understand that Theo, look, I understand he wants to help people with their mental health, but he's doing it wrong. And he knows better. Disappointing AF. That's it for the show tonight, you guys. I've got the extension coming up for the All Access Nighthawks in just a couple of seconds at shadowdavis.com. I urge you to become a member. Come and join the group on Telegram, the Shadow at Night community. We would love to see you there. We have more on Charlie Kirk in the extension tonight. It's not going to be that long, but we do have some information there. I love you all, and I appreciate you all, and I will catch you again tomorrow night. Oh, we have a... never mind. We'll tell you more tomorrow. Have a great sleep and a great day tomorrow, and bye for now.